Hey there. Are you the kind of photographer who has a nice camera and you photograph bugs and flowers? Maybe you go to a family event and people ask you to bring your camera because everyone else has a cell phone and you're the only one with a nice camera. Hi, my name is John Rudolph, and yes, that's happened to me as well. But there's another way to go if you love music. That's become a concert photographer. So what does that mean? It means you photograph the band, you write a review of the band, and then you post your photos and your review on either on your blog or to a radio station's website to a magazine or maybe something like Getty Images, which is a photo warehouse. So how do I get started doing that? Well, the way you get started is you want to contact the publicist and ask for press credentials. But of course, they're going to say no because you don't have a track record, you don't have a portfolio yet. You're not going to go by your bugs and flowers. So what I would do is contact your local small band. They're always clamoring for publicity because of the competition. Tell them you'll do a trade. You'll photograph their band, but you get to use their photos on your blog. Of course, they'll say yes. But you want to have a contract, protect yourself, protect their music, and protect your your images. And you want to write a good review. And once you've done that for one band, most bands know other bands, and so you'll be able to go to different bands, different local bands, and have different venues. And people get to know you, which is fantastic. So now you've got a portfolio together. Now you can you can contact the publicist for your favorite band. The way you do that is you do a Google search looking for the publicist for your favorite band. Let's say U2 or whoever, Slayer, Taylor Swift. You look for the publicist for that person. You send your portfolio to them and tell them what your intentions are. You want to photograph the show. You want to write a review of the show. And many times they'll say yes. And it's super exciting when they do. So what are some of the challenges when you shoot these shows? Well, a small show especially, it's light. For a bigger show, they've got huge lighting setups and they can have the best music, the best sound, the best lighting, the best amplifiers, all that kind of stuff. There's nothing to worry about there. You go to a small show and light is a big problem because these small bands can't afford the big light. And the venue might be a bar or it might be just some small theater. And of course they can't afford big lighting either. So that's a big challenge. The other challenge is shutter speed. You want to keep your shutter speed at 200th of a second, maybe 125th it depends if they're running around a lot. But 200th of a second to say 400th of a second. You want to keep your ISO at least 1600 so you get that same shutter speed and you have the right amount of light hitting your sensor. And then once you get a little more established and you photographing big bands, or should I say famous bands, then you're going to have a crowded photo pit. You may have people in the photo pit from CNN, Rolling Stone, Spin, Getty Images, local radio stations, local media, and you want to be respectful because you shoot many shows with these people. You see them over and over again, and they can help you get your next show. They can help you get your next venue or help you find a full-time job, photographing for a radio station. So you never want to burn your bridges there. So what kind of gear do I need? Well, you want the best gear you can afford. And what I do, I used to buy brand new equipment, which became really expensive. Now I buy used equipment. I look for the best professional equipment I can buy, best professional cameras, full frame, let's say. It doesn't have to be full frame, but full frame is the way I go. You want your lenses to be f2.8 or faster. So f1.4, f2, f1.8, or f2.8. I'm going to find zooms that are probably going to be f2.8. Then I look for lenses that are wide. So I have two cameras. That's the other thing. You want two cameras as a rule. That way you have your wide lenses on your one camera and you have your telephoto lens on the other camera. Things happen too quickly for you to have switch lenses. It's too much going on in the photo pit and it's too dark. So I have two camera bodies and I put my wide 24 to 70 on one lens and my 70 to 200 on the other lens. You want a bag to carry it all in. And you want the best, like I say, the best quality you can afford. And that's typically used for me because and camera equipment is just too expensive. And things get knocked around and you don't want to have a $4,000 camera and a $2,000 lens get smashing against the stage. That's why I buy used. One thing we can't forget is composition. So when you photograph your first band, especially when you first start photographing a large band, and you've got all the excitement of the crowd and other photographers, and the band is playing, and you know you've only got 3 songs to get the right shots, because that's really what you get is 3 songs. And you want to make sure you go by the rule of thirds, the rule of space. You want to use framing, so you can use, let's say you've got a bunch of monitors. Monitors not our computer monitors, but they're sound monitors. They're going to be on the stage. Their speakers facing up to the band, so the band can hear what's happening. And you want to use those as framing, or you want to maybe use the amplifier as a frame. Or you want to use leading lines. You can stand to the side of the stage and then use the monitors or the stage itself as leading lines to the artist. So you want to use basic composition for interest, so for when you publish. So what did we learn here today? Well, the way you want to get started is you want to contact your small local bands and come up with a portfolio. Once you've done that, you contact your favorite band's publicist. You get the press credentials that you'll need so you can get your professional camera into the venue. You've overcome your challenges. You get so good with your camera that you can change the settings in the dark without actually looking at anything. I prefer to buy used because I can afford professional equipment at a much less cost. And you want to have great composition. Composition will separate your photos from somebody else. Thank you very much.